Welcome back, everyone, to the Castlevania Season 2 Watchathon. Of course, this is episode 3.
Yes.
Right? This is 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes when you're like watching this, you're just like, this is one big movie. That's why I like it so much, I think. Because they fit so well together.
Yeah.
This one is definitely the soaking in. Like, second was starting that, but this one really is just a lot of dialogue, exposition, backfilling the story, the motivations, and getting you where you need to go for some of the build-up that we're going to be leading to in the next couple of episodes, in my mind, as I'm watching this. Since there were a couple of different moving parts, I think I'm going to stick to two main ones. One, the Warriors 3, as I like to call it, the Warriors 3 storyline. So you got Sypha, of course, Trevor, and Alucard. They're headed over to the Belmont estate, and of course, they managed to find it. What'd you think of that whole, relationship and dynamic as they, like, get into this trove of untapped knowledge, It's great.
I love it because it kind of turns everything on its head for both Alucard and Trevor. Mm-hmm. Because Trevor has grown up with this idea that, magic isn't necessarily, like, a good thing, It should not be used. And yet, the way to the basement, the passage is by
magic seal, yeah.
Magic seal, yeah. So it's having that tradition turned on its head and makes you think secondly. Then with Alucard going into the and seeing this whole treasure.
I want to use the words that he used, I think. That might be more accurate to what it is.
Yeah.
For him, at least.
Yeah, where he said it was what?
A museum dedicated to the eradication of my kind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially, and they did this so well, where there's just this case. There's this case that he's staring at this entire time, not paying attention to anything else, just this case. And when he finally walks away from it, you see what he was focused on and what he was staring at. And it's this small vampire skull.
Yeah, it kind of alludes to maybe being a little kiddo.
To the fact that, they didn't just hunt vampires. They hunted vampires even if they're children.
It didn't matter the age.
Yeah. So
it's the reminder that while, these guys are on the quote-unquote righteous path, once again, the righteous path is filled with a lot of alternate paths.
Yes.
And they're not always perfect choices.
Yeah.
Not always good things.
Yeah. With the having to face morality and also having to face the backwash of tradition.
Yeah. And I also appreciate Sypha had a little bit of that on her end too, because remember, the speakers, her organization that she's from, they're all orated knowledge. They don't write anything down. That's not what they do. The quote-unquote, I remember this because I was rewatching the first couple episodes before today. Her leader, I believe her grandfather, exactly stated that knowledge is a moving thing, and that's why they don't like it to be written down. Yeah. It should live and die with them.
Yeah.
And Sypha, maybe we had it wrong.
Yeah, she comes across all of these books and is just so fascinated.
Yeah, she's loving it.
Yeah. A lot of twists and turns for each character.
And then, of course, Trevor with the Morning Star.
Ah, yes, the revelation of the ultimate weapon.
Dude, oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't wait for you to watch that.
I'm excited to see that in this.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's the same concept as the whip, just better and more destructive.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Like his Indiana Jones skills, but times 10.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Now we move on to the castle, and I like to think of it as the courtroom drama, the court drama, the politics of Dracula's generals in his castle. Also the transition, I want to say, too, between castle from the Warriors 3 into the castle was great, as Alucard's thinking about all of that, and then the fire, of course. Love that shit. Godbrand. Godbrand is trying to get all like, hey, if you kill all the humans, we're not going to be able to eat anymore. And he's like, you insolent little... And then he just hands him down.
I do love the fact that even though he's a really silly character, Godbrand still brings that level of consciousness to Dracula.
He has a very odd clarity to him, and he's smarter than even he himself realizes, where he says literally like, hey, this guy doesn't give a shit about anything. He's just on one suicide path. And that is way more accurate than he wants to, like, even give it credit for, because he doesn't understand. He's just saying shit, you know? And then, of course, you know, it's like, he doesn't understand what it is, even though he says he does. It's kind of my mind. All he wants to do at the end of the day is eat, fuck, and
make boats.
And make boats. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. That's why you got Camilla, right? Yeah. What'd you think of pretty much not only her being like Gottbrand, I'm correcting myself, Gottbrand, get your shit together, kind of, but also the reveal of her past.
If we're gonna go into that, I think we should go into Hector first.
I was gonna wheel that back around because we were on kind of their characters.
For sure.
Yeah.
Alright. So Camilla, at the end of the episode, she gets like pissed off at Godbrand, and like kicks him down a stairwell.
Yeah, right.
This is dope. But then she like explains to Godbrand why this is so important to her, for Dracula to understand what they need to do. And she goes into her backstory of when she was turned into a vampire, and how this vampire started to get old and crazy. Well, specifically cruel, and would just control her. And when she finally had enough, she threw him out a window and beheaded him.
What's the common theme here, Ransom? And I just want to touch on this because what were you saying about Isaac in the last episode, right? Manipulation.
Yes, manipulation, abuse, and overcoming that.
And for her, similarly here, because that guy promised her the world, right? And then trapped her inside of a house, essentially. Yeah. So she became a trophy to him, and that wasn't going to fly for her.
Yeah. To compare her and Isaac, while Isaac takes his experience with abuse and manipulation and makes it fuel him, she never wants to go back to that. So she refuses to go down any sort of path in which that would be the case.
No.
Including working with Dracula and his eradication. She wants to go down the same idea of eradicating humans, but for her it's more of a survival.
Here's the funny thing, though. Something that you start to pick up on, and this is going to be tying in what you were kind of wanting to talk about in a minute ago. She, have you noticed, is doing a little bit of manipulation herself.
Yes.
On individuals inside of the castle. Gottbrand, of course, as we were seeing here, but also Hector in the beginning of the episode, where she's trying to talk to him, get his ear, because she understands that he also has Dracula's ear.
Yeah.
And also, of course, tying in to not only his backstory with, the meeting of Dracula, but the episode opening up with a nice little, quick backstory as to, his first times really using alchemy to revive things, I think is not only just important for his character, but for a couple of episodes later, you're going to see the results of that. Because one of the things that you always see next to him are pets.
Yes. Well, I think the important thing with Hector is that the reason why he becomes such a big alchemist and forger and reanimator is that he doesn't like to see death. It pains him. You know, even when he says that, yes, I can understand. It goes back into a discussion that he had first meeting Dracula. And he says, as long as there's no pain and suffering to the humanity, I can join you.
It's a weird dichotomy with him, right? But the balance between life and death. I would say that he enjoys one particular kind of life a little bit more than other kinds of life. And as we go on into the episodes, I will be very intrigued to hear your point of view on that, because I don't want to talk about it quite yet because we haven't gotten to it. But it will be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. All right. Does that seal the deal for episode 3 so far of season 2?
I think so.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you again for watching, guys. Of course, we're watching on this along with you. So comment below and let us know what you picked up on from this episode, and give us your insights, because maybe we missed something. Yeah. Let us know.
See you on episode 4.
Catch you guys there.